Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be why arguing creates emotional distance between you and your girl that will create problems in your relationship. I've got an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hey Coach, I got your book and have read it several times. The woman I have been seeing, I have known for 12 years. And to make a long story short, I got complacent, stressed from my business going good to dead in the last 6 months. I forgot about her needs and I acted weak and needy. And as you say, she tested and I failed. I felt like I got kicked when I was down. We have been seeing each other for the last 2 years. We were both in relationships before this one, and we were good friends prior to that. We had an argument about 2 weeks ago. We met for lunch that Friday. She was upset, crying, and I told her how I really felt about her, that I loved her. And over the weekend, she became colder. She came by Monday with her girlfriend to get some of her stuff, and she left out of town for the weekend. I haven't heard from her since, and I'm trying to be the rock and let her come to me, but it's hard when you love her so much." And she says that she's been waiting for 2 years for me to see that she is the one. I want to call or text, but like you said, walk away and let her contact me. I don't want to lose her. Any help would be greatly appreciated. I feel like a complete ass. Well, here's the deal. I mean, did you guys actually... It doesn't sound like you broke up. It just sounds like you guys had a fight. And here's the deal. Like I talk about in my book, guys that understand women. I mean, because the whole purpose of all relationships is you go there to give. You're there to meet each other's needs, to fulfill each other, and to help each other grow and become more. And when two people argue, it's usually as a result of a failure to listen. And typically, 9 times out of 10, it's like when a guy argues with a woman, he's trying to prove his point to her by using logic and reason. And if she's upset and she's crying, it's because you have hurt her emotionally in some way that has caused her to feel like when she tells you about it, you're using rationalizations and things trying to say, hey, I did this or that in the past or whatever, or why you're trying to argue why she's wrong. And she's coming from an emotional place, and you're using logic and reason, and that's why you guys are butting heads and not getting anywhere. And so when your girl leaves like that, it tells me that the reason she was so cold and distant is because you had not opened her up emotionally. She was shut down to you, and she feels hurt by you. And the fact that the way she's acting, it makes me think that what's going on with her is that she feels like that you don't love her and you don't really care about her. Even though you said those things, the way you acted in the argument, you hurt her. And plus, it sounds like she was expecting you guys to get engaged or get married, because she said that she's been waiting for a year for you to determine whether or not she's the one for you. And the idea is, obviously, if she's gone out of town with her girlfriend, I mean, she's going to come back. I assume that means that she lives with you. And so when she comes back, what you need to do is just say, hey, baby, glad to see you. Glad you're back. Let's make dinner together. And so go to the store, buy some stuff, make some dinner together, and you got to get her talking. You got to get her to make sure she's doing 70 to 80% of the talking, and say, well, obviously, you've been pretty quiet, you've been pretty distant since the last time we talked. And so obviously you're upset about something, so what's on your mind? Talk to me. And you got to get her to talk, get her to open up, and I want you to listen. Just to listen to her, get her to talk, and she'll explain what's going on. And every few minutes or so, you'll say, just simply repeat things back to her in this way, which will communicate that you're actually listening. Not only that you're listening, but you actually understand her, because that's what she really wants. That's why she got so emotional and she was upset, she was crying, is because she feels hurt. She feels like you don't understand her and where she's coming from. And if your relationship is going to be successful long term, then you as a man will have to be able to communicate with her in a way that's not going to cause her to feel emotional and cry and get upset and feel hurt every time you guys interact with one another. And so obviously it's going to be an obstacle that's caused her to shut down to you emotionally, because you don't know what to do. You don't know how to open her back up. So she's off with her girlfriend having a good time and giving you space, obviously. But when she comes back in town, you guys need to get together, and you got to, like I said, you got to talk to her. You got to get her to open up. And so every once in a while, you repeat some of what she says back to you, Like if she says you really hurt her when you did this or you said that or blah blah blah, and don't get pissed off, don't get butthurt at her. Try to understand where she's coming from, because the reason why she's upset is she feels that you hurt her in some way or another. And when a woman becomes cold and distant, what's happening is she's shutting down to you, and because she's trying to protect her heart because you've hurt her emotionally, or at least she perceives that you have hurt her. And so when she talks about it, that's how you can figure out what it is that she's really upset about, and why she's really hurt, and why she took off, and why she's been so cold and distant. And then you just simply say, okay, so when I did this, this, or that, it really hurt you, and it made you feel blah, 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 whatever it was that she said caused. And she'll say, yes, exactly. And then you just go, what else, baby? And you just keep her talking. And it may take an hour or whatever, but if you've hurt her because you were being a dick, or just like you said, you got complacent, and you acted needy, and you made some mistakes. So, I mean, the idea is just apologize to her. Just say, I'm sorry for doing this, 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 or that. I had no idea it was hurting you. It wasn't my intent. I wasn't trying to. But I do understand why you're upset, and I understand why you're really hurt. And then tell her you love her. And the only way you'll know when you're done talking to her is when she gets to a point where she feels, oh, I feel so much better. I'm so glad we talked. And so when you're getting her to talk, ask her, do you want if she starts talking about something other than the two of you, like situation, she brings up a situation with one of her girlfriends or something else that's unrelated to your relationship, you say, are you asking for my advice about that situation, or do you just want me to listen? And then let her tell you, and more than likely she'll say, I just want you to listen. And because a lot of guys get themselves tripped up as they try to solve a girl's problem when she wants to listen, because women work through their problems by talking about them. Guys, we tend to go in the bat cave, or man cave, whatever you want to call it, in our garage, play with our tools for a while, go to our favorite watering hole, go row to buddy's house, whatever it is we tend to do when we want to blow off some steam or figure something out. And we like to go and contemplate and figure out our solution on our own. And once we figure it out on our own, then we're ready to interact and move forward. That's just the way us guys are, but women aren't like that. They work through things by talking about them. So use that approach when you talk to her. Don't just, like I said, don't just ignore her, but you gotta get to the bottom line, why she's hurt and why she's shut down to you emotionally. And once you do, and she talks, and you have some great, fantastic makeup sex, and then you got to go back to dating and courting her like you did. Start doing the things that you did when she fell in love with you in the first place, like taking her out at least once a week. Don't tell her where you're going to take her. Tell her how to dress. Say dress casual, dress nice. We're going to go to a nice restaurant. We're going to do something outdoors. It's really fun. So wear some shorts and t-shirt. Whatever it happens to be. Make definite plans and take her places that she doesn't know where they're going to go. Don't take her to the same fucking places and things that you do all the time. The idea is to show that you put a little bit of thought into it, because if you really care and you really love her, you will show it through your actions by planning really cool, fun dates. They don't have to be extravagant, but just so she can show up and look hot and sexy and have a great time with you, and then you can go back to your place and fuck each other's brains out and get things back to normal where they should be. So if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session, and you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box is a box that has a link that will take you right to the download page for my Kindle book. If you don't have a Kindle device, once you get to the download page, on the right-hand side of the download page, there is a button you can click to download a free e-reader app for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these coaching video newsletters and the articles on my website, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, and on the Wibia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal Donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.